breaking through your red pill rage. And in today's video, a really important concept is red pill rage. And I think I heard this from Sandman first, but the idea is, right, the red pill, like in the Matrix, when you take the red pill, you learn the truths about our world. You learn the truths about female nature and about women, and you find out the truth is so far from the reality that we were raised with, that we grew up believing, that it can be such a shock to the system that you find yourself angry at the system. You find yourself angry sometimes at women because when you swallow this pill, the red pill, and you just realize, you go, why did no one tell me this before? Why does nobody in society warn us about the truth? So a lot of guys can get angry, and then, you know what, that's normal, but if you get stuck in that anger, that won't help yourself, that won't help anyone around you. So this video is going to talk a little bit about how to break through your red pill rage and just have a little more fun with the truths that you are learning. Yeah, once you get through the red pill rage and anger, that's the most beautiful thing. That is the hardest hurdle for guys to get over. And again, when guys see a channel like mine or others for the first time, I have to try to balance that. Now, a lot of you guys know that, and you're very patient with me when I have to balance it, because I know that not every guy watching my channel has been red-pilled yet. But when you get through the anger and the rage stage, then you see it for what it is, and then you can laugh. And that's when it's freeing, when you can laugh. And I get women too that will say stuff like, oh, you're miserable. I had one on a recent video I did. You're just miserable and you want other men to be miserable like you. It's like, I don't consider myself miserable at all. I have a very carefree, fun life, in my opinion. But part of the reason is because I just laugh about stuff like this. I don't get bogged down in my feelings over a woman. I don't get jealous about women. I don't have that anger built up because I just understand it for what it is. And when you get to that place, oh man, life becomes a lot more fun. A lot more fun. It's just like, oh, I see how it is. Oh, no big deal. I see what's going on. It's just like if you were to watch pro wrestling now and you know everything's staged and fake. And you're like, I know it's staged and fake, but the show they put on is still fun for me to watch. When you know it's staged and fake and then you can still enjoy it, you just enjoy it and there's no like strings attached. It's when you don't know the games are being played and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. That's when it's angry. Like, I've been lied to my whole life, right? I've been lied to my whole life. But once you get through that, man, oh, such a fun life to live. Just a joyous life. I don't get triggered by anything on the mainstream news or any of that stuff now because I know what's going on. I see it for what it is. Oh, this is just propaganda so they can keep most people in line, so they can make most people in fear. Oh, I get it. I get why they're putting it on. I don't invest my energy. I don't fight with random people on my Facebook in my regular life that have these political outbursts and in my opinion, so wrong. And it's like, wow, they're so wrong. Should I say something? It's like, no, I just don't even care. It's like, I understand they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They're drinking the Kool-Aid of the mainstream. And actually, this is a good point. Someone, who said this? Somebody said this. Maybe it was in a comment. They said, we shouldn't try to save all men because we need the blue-pilled men there to allow us to walk our own way, to allow us to live in the shadows almost. Because if all men wake up, what they were saying is that they'll still figure out a way to get men to pay for women and all of that stuff. So if everybody wakes up, we'll all be having to pay for it collectively more. Now, I still am on the thing individually. I want to save as many men as I can, but it was an interesting perspective and a good point. The blue-pilled men around allow the rest of us to be able to live and laugh about stuff like this. Now, again, I'm going to try to save every man I can meet, but it's a blessing and a curse. It keeps the system going, but at the same time, it also prevents a new system from potentially screwing us over if every man went red pill. Most of this dating doesn't seem appealing whatsoever. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Man, I do my individual coaching sessions, and I'll see guys that will do things that are like, so I'm like looking at them, I'm like so proud. I'm like, man, you played that so well. You've come so far. But in my head, I still see like 4 or 5 things like I would do that differently. I could see why she stopped texting you. I could see why she, and then I just have to think back, and I'm like, God, that's so much work for love. That's so much work for what we were all told was so easy to get, love and all that stuff. All you got to do is be yourself. And that's why I'm just like, man, that is so much work. Which is why the men that understand this, they get rewarded pretty heavily with unlimited options, because it's so much work. I understand, man. I understand. 3 years ago, I lost my job. My ex left me. Had to move back with my parents. Now I'm single, lost a lot of weight in a doctoral program. MGTOW saves lives. Good for you, man. Good for you. Great for you. Good job. Good call. Wasting money. If you're 20 years old now, save now. Have 50 to 100K in the bank in 10 years. Great advice. Yeah, there is. It's weird, guys, when you're young, right? When you're young, it's kind of hard to think. You're kind of like, well, my youth will pass me by. I got to go out and meet women now. It's like, it really is weird. But the older you get, like right now, I'm 31, and I've never felt more in control of my dating arena than I do right now. And there will be times where I was going out clubbing, doing all that, and I had all the games down. I never felt more in control than now at 31, and I'm the oldest I've ever been. It does get better. It gets a lot easier when you invest in yourself and you really upgrade your life. Then it becomes a lot easier later. What are your thoughts about prostitution? I think it's an honest... I've never done it. But again, I've learned all the game stuff and all that stuff. But I think it's a pretty honest with how it is, because a lot of people, you try to hide the marriage, you try to hide the relationship, under the veil of love or under the veil of loyalty. Prostitution is pretty much a honest transaction. Women are using their sex to get what they want, money, resources, and all that stuff. Men using his money or resources to get sex. It's a very honest transaction, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look about it. And again, guys that go that route, I understand that too. I've never been a guy to have money. I've just never had much money. So to me, that's always been like, well, that's a lot of money for me. But some guys are loaded with money, and it's like, to them, why not just do that? Get it taken care of. Have no strings attached. That can be, I understand. Yeah, totally understand. What if you are young and attractive? If you're young and attractive, still the best advice, work on yourself. Work on your lifestyle. Work on your skills. Read. Work on your intelligence. Work on these other stuff, because if you're young and attractive, I'm just going to, spoiler alert, the older you get, you're still going to keep a lot of those looks. You're not going to hit some crazy wall. But really build your life, and you will have it all. You will have it all, and you will have your pick. Clubs in the 80s were great. I don't know what it's like. I could imagine it would be fun. When women were sexy. That's the other thing. You know how I mentioned feminism has made it easier for us to resist women because they're so masculine now. They don't know how to be feminine. Feminism it's like the opposite of feminine. That's the other thing. It's also easier to walk away when what the average woman weighs probably more than I do. In America, I'm 6'2". The average woman in America, I got to get the stats right. Does anyone know that off the top of your head in the stats? Did I hear the average woman in America? I don't want to be wrong about this, but I thought I heard something like 170 pounds. I weigh like a little under 180. The average woman, I'm 6'2". What's the average woman's height? Someone else would know that too. Man, yeah. What a time to be alive back then. Although probably it was easier to be brainwashed and get the games rolled on you, but I still like to see, women, it's in us, guys. We're attracted to women. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, at a club in Seattle. I've been to some clubs in Seattle. Fight broke out and cops maced the fighters, but it was inside, so everyone got exposed to the fumes. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I do not enjoy going out in Seattle, like going to clubs in Seattle. I just don't have fun. No lie, dudes were still trying to talk to girls while them and all the girls were coughing and having trouble breathing. Saddest thing I've ever seen. Can you imagine that? Some guy running over across the street, buying a gas mask from the local Ace Hardware just to run back in with a gas mask to hit on some more women, trying to, the thirst is just too real. Yeah. Funny how that white picket fence is turning into picket signs of men boycotting marriage. Yeah, let's build a wall, guys. Build a big old wall to keep them out. Oh, dude, I'm not going to mention any names. There's this beautiful woman, and I'll say beautiful as in she's beautiful. And she got mad at me recently because I didn't, I just don't want to sleep with her. And it's because it smelled down there. It smelled bad, and I could not get it out of my mind. Dude, some of these women these days, man, you got some bacteria living in there. Got some bacteria living in there. And that can ruin it for me. If a girl's like, it's smelly and I get in that, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to even go down there again. I don't want to experience that again. The statch smells, the pink stink, as I like to call it, the pink stink, guys. This thing, the pink stink, can have a grip over you. It can keep you in the matrix, but when you smell the pink stink, and it's a bad pink stink, that can be a dose of reality like you've never had before, because then nothing about that turns you on. Ooh, the pink stink. Ugh. Oh man, the old pink stink. Back to this concept of breaking through your red pill rage. I think this one would be super helpful if you could talk about, first, what stage are you in the red pill? Are you still going through that red pill process? Did you already have the red pill rage and now you're over it? Are you still trying to get over your red pill rage? Just talk about where you're at in this type of journey. And then, also, what are some things that have helped you in your own life get through this? Learning the truth and being able to move on in a healthy way. What are some things that really helped, shape your mindset in a more positive direction? I think this will be a really, really helpful one for a lot of guys to, hear your own personal stories, because getting stuck with anger, rage, frustration, that's not a good long-term plan or long-term solution. So this is one that we can really help each other out on this. And, as a, more fun side note, just think about the old pink stink. If you want to get through your red pill rage, if you're still raging and you want to get through red pill rage, just take a sniff of some nasty pink stink. Again, I haven't had that experience, too bad. A lot of girls seem to have it taken care of down there. But when you get a bad sniff of that pink stink, that is probably the quickest way that you can red pill yourself and just easily move on with less need and thirst for women. All right, let us know your story, guys, below. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.